Today I'm talking how Karen Angle became Karen Jarrett. And most of you probably didn't know she was Karen Angle at one point. Kurt Angle married her back in the early 2000s and was still married to her when he signed with TNA in 2007. But apparently they were separated at the time. Jeff Jarrett married his wife in 1992 and she died of breast cancer in 2007. I've still got a taste of gum in my mouth. Now, Kurt Angle was a lousy husband to Karen Angle. To Karen. He even admits this. Partly because of his drinking and his painkiller abuse, and the fact that he admits to cheating on her. So she then cheated on him to get back at him. Why is this shirt always coming unbuttoned? You guys don't want to see my pasty white chest. Okay, enough of that. So, because of that, they were separated in 2007. But the Angles were close to the Jarretts. They were friends. But in 2008, when there were rumors that Jeff Jarrett was dating Karen, Jeff told Dixie Carter that there was nothing going on. Now, in 2009, later in 2008, someone called in the Bubba Love Sponge show who worked with TNA and said that Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle were moving in together with Karen's kids and that it was serious. Now, for those of you who remember Bubba the Love Sponge, he was Hulk Hogan's best friend at one point before Hulk Hogan took the name The Love Sponge after his sex tape. I know I shouldn't make fun of the dead, but it's so easy. So at that point, Dixie Carter was pissed. And Dixie Carter used this anger to take over TNA. Now, at this point, before Dixie Carter was in charge of TNA backstage, TNA was making money. It was profitable. Unlike some other wrestling companies which were never profitable, TNA was profitable at this point. And Jeff had his guys in charge because Jeff was partly in charge. Dix Carter suspended Jeff, fired him from being in charge. He was just a performer when he came back. He was suspended for like 6 months. And when he came back, he was just a performer. And immediately he cleaned house of all of his guys, including Dutch Mantel, who had up to that point booked the knockouts of all those great angles up until that point the knockouts had been involved in. So if you like the knockout angles up till that point, you had Dutch Mantel to thank for that. You liked the women, and you liked to put them in good matches. And when Jeff Jarrett came back, he was just a performer. And he immediately got into an angle with Kurt Angle over the woman Karen, who Jeff Jarrett kind of married over his time away from the company. And they got into an angle where Jeff was like playing daddy to Kurt Angle's kids, which was kind of mirroring real life. and Jeff was the heel and Kurt was the face. But there was no bad blood between them. They were actually one big happy family backstage. Where eventually Jeff Jarrett lost and moved to Mexico, where he won the AAA Mega Championship, and then came back to TNA and claimed he was the King of Mexico. Which I'd love to find more on that feud, but I can't. And yes, he really did claim he was the King of Mexico, and it was a really racist angle. It was a good old-fashioned Jeff Jarrett racist angle, and you know Jeff Jarrett is really good at those racist angles. Anything bigoted and racist, Jeff Jarrett is good at. I don't know why. So yeah, that's basically how Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett got together. And after Dixie Carter took over TNA, TNA went down the toilet and just started burying itself in debt. So that's basically the story. It's all thanks to Bubba the Love Sponge, who was so love sponge that he was covered in cock. Covered in semen. He's a semen-covered love sponge. So if you like to keep seeing my videos after this week, which after that little bit of semen-covered love sponge, you probably don't, you'll need to head to my new channel, which there's a link in the description. And now here's a word from our sponsor, which you probably already turned it off, so who cares? If it's night and you need a light, use a flashlight. It's all the light you need to see in the dark. And it'll make light seem like night, seem like day. Make night seem like day. And then you can see all night long. So you can party with the party animals. So use a flashlight today.